There's something powerful that happens when a man reaches his 60s. The pace of life changes. You've worked hard, you've carried responsibilities, you've seen things come and go. And suddenly, the body that once moved without question starts asking for a little more attention. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. It's your body's way of saying, slow down and take care of me now, because I've carried you this far. One of the organs that often starts speaking more loudly at this stage is the prostate. Most men don't think much about it until they have to. It's quiet, it sits deep inside, and yet it has an enormous influence on how you feel every single day. Your urinary health, your comfort, even your sense of vitality, they all pass through this small, walnut-sized gland. And when it's healthy, you barely notice it. When it's not, you notice everything. I've sat across from men in my clinic who tell me they never paid attention to their prostate until something changed. Maybe it was the first time they had to get up several times in the night to urinate. Maybe it was a slow, weak stream. Maybe it was discomfort or that quiet fear that something inside them wasn't quite right. Whatever the reason, they all shared one thing in common. They wished they had started caring earlier. And that's really what I want to talk about today. Because protecting your prostate after 60 isn't about medical miracles. It's about habits. Gentle, daily acts of awareness that keep blood flowing, hormones balanced, inflammation low, and the body's natural defenses strong. Habits that say, I respect this body enough to keep showing up for it. Let's start with something simple, but profound movement. The human body was never designed to be still for long stretches. Yet after retirement or slower years, that's exactly what happens. The chair becomes familiar, the walks get shorter, and before you know it, circulation begins to slow. Blood that once flowed freely to every organ, including the prostate, becomes sluggish. And when that flow slows down, so does healing, so does cleansing, so does life. I often tell men, exercise isn't about chasing a number on the treadmill or sculpting a younger version of yourself. It's about keeping the engine warm. A 20-minute walk after breakfast, gentle stretches in the morning, light resistance work a few times a week. These are not luxuries, they are necessities. They keep your hormones balanced, your metabolism active, and your mood grounded. And more importantly, they help reduce the inflammation that silently fuels prostate enlargement and discomfort. But movement also does something deeper. It reminds you that you are still capable, still strong, still connected to your body. Every step you take is a declaration that you're not giving up ownership of your health. That mindset alone has a biological effect. Stress lowers, sleep improves, blood pressure steadies. And yes, the prostate benefits from all of it. Then there's what you choose to feed yourself. Not just in calories, but in consciousness. You see, food is more than fuel. It's information. Every bite you take sends messages to your cells, your hormones, your immune system. And after 60, the body becomes even more sensitive to those messages. The science is very clear. Diets rich in fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats, like olive oil, avocado, walnuts, and fatty fish, are linked to better prostate health. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage contain natural compounds that help your body detoxify harmful estrogens and reduce the risk of cellular overgrowth. Tomatoes, when cooked with a little olive oil, release lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that helps protect prostate tissue from damage. But let me say, this food isn't just chemistry. It's also emotion. It's culture. It's the story of how you care for yourself. A man who eats mindfully, who takes the time to prepare his food, to taste it, to slow down, is a man who is telling his body, you matter. That message changes everything. When you eat with gratitude, digestion improves, hormones regulate, and inflammation lowers. It's a kind of meditation, one meal at a time. Now, I want to talk about water, because it sounds so ordinary that people overlook it. But hydration is one of the simplest, most powerful habits for protecting the prostate. When you're dehydrated, your urine becomes concentrated, irritating the bladder and prostate tissue. Over time, that constant irritation can lead to inflammation, discomfort, and even infections. Drinking enough water, not excessive amounts, just steady hydration through the day, helps flush the urinary tract, keeps things moving, and supports kidney and bladder health. Think of it as washing the system from within. For older men, a practical rule is to sip throughout the day rather than gulping large amounts at once, especially in the evening, to reduce nighttime trips to the bathroom. Your body doesn't need punishment, it needs rhythm. Hydration is rhythm. There's also the role of rest, true restorative rest. Sleep is not a pause in life, it's the time your body heals, regulates hormones, and repairs tissue. The prostate, like every organ, depends on that nightly reset. Yet so many men neglect it, as if rest were an indulgence. I tell my patients, don't confuse exhaustion with productivity. Your body cannot heal when it's running on empty. Quality sleep reduces the production of stress hormones like cortisol and supports testosterone balance, both critical for prostate and sexual health. And beyond the science, sleep is where you process emotion. It's where you release. A rested man is a patient man. He responds instead of reacts. He feels instead of suppressing. That emotional steadiness protects the body in ways medicine can't measure. And speaking of emotion, let's talk about stress. Because stress is not just a feeling, it's a chemistry. It alters the entire internal environment of the body. When you live in constant tension, your body produces inflammatory chemicals that can damage tissue over time, including in the prostate. Men often carry stress quietly, like a badge of endurance. They keep it behind the ribcage unspoken, but the body feels it. The prostate feels it. The constant tightening of the pelvic muscles, the shallow breathing, the unresolved anger or fear, it all accumulates. I often encourage men to find one daily practice that allows them to release. Whether it's meditation, prayer, walking in nature, or breathing exercises, or even simply sitting quietly with a cup of tea and letting yourself feel. Because when you release emotional tension, your body's systems, from digestion to circulation, begin to align again, and a body in harmony heals naturally. Another habit that deserves attention is regular checkups. Too often, men avoid the doctor until something hurts. But the truth is, early detection saves lives. A simple prostate, specific antigen PSA test, a physical exam, or a conversation about urinary changes can uncover issues long before they become serious. These are not just medical appointments. They are acts of responsibility, acts of love. They say, I am invested in my own future. And yes, I understand the fear. The fear of being told something's wrong, the discomfort of the exam, the pride that whispers, I'll be fine. But pride doesn't protect you. Awareness does. Real strength is not pretending nothing's wrong. It's having the courage to know the truth. The men who live longest, who stay vibrant into their 80s and beyond, are not the ones who ignore their bodies. They're the ones who partner with them. Now, let me pause for a moment and talk about one of the least discussed, yet most impactful habits, kindness toward your own body. We talk about exercise, diet, tests, and supplements, but we rarely talk about self-compassion. And yet, it's one of the most powerful medicines there is. When you treat your body like an ally instead of an enemy, everything shifts. You start listening instead of criticizing. You notice subtle signs before they become crises. You feed yourself better. You move with intention. You sleep with peace. It's not weakness. It's awareness. And awareness is what keeps you healthy. The truth is, protecting your prostate after 60 isn't just about avoiding disease. It's about preserving quality of life. It's about waking up without discomfort, about having energy to play with your grandchildren, to travel, to laugh, to love. It's about dignity. Because every man deserves to age with dignity, not in silence, not in shame, but in strength. Sometimes patients ask me, Doctor, is it too late for me? And I always say, As long as you are breathing, it is never too late to care. The body is incredibly forgiving. It responds to care at any age. Even a few weeks of new habits can bring noticeable change: better sleep, clearer urination, lighter mood. The body wants to heal. You just have to give it permission. So, what are the 5 daily habits I want you to carry with you? They're simple, but they carry the weight of wisdom. Move every day, because motion is medicine. Eat with mindfulness, because food is communication. Hydrate steadily, because flow is life. Rest deeply, because healing happens in stillness. And manage stress, because peace is preventive medicine. These 5 habits form a circle. Each supports the other. When you move, you sleep better. When you sleep, your cravings change. When you eat well, your energy improves. When you manage stress, your body digests, circulates, and repairs more efficiently. And when all those things align, your prostate and the rest of your body thrive quietly, doing what they were always designed to do. There's one more layer to this conversation, and it's about legacy. Because men in their 60s and 70s are not just caring for themselves. They're setting examples. Every time you make a healthy choice, your sons, your grandsons, the younger men who look up to you, they see it. They learn that health is not luck, it's stewardship. That masculinity is not denial, it's responsibility. I often imagine a world where aging men are not invisible, but revered. Where they mentor not by words, but by the way they live, by the calm they carry, by the way they show that caring for your health is not vanity, it's wisdom. That's the kind of world I want for the next generation. So tonight, when you brush your teeth or take your evening walk, remember, these small acts are not small at all. They are quiet promises you make to yourself. Promises that your body hears. Promises that build a future where you age not just longer, but better. And if there's one message I hope stays with you, it's this: health isn't about fighting your age. It's about partnering with it. The same way you've learned to navigate the seasons of life, you can learn to navigate the seasons of your body. There's beauty in every phase, including this one. So move with grace. Eat with awareness. Rest with intention. Forgive yourself often, and stay curious about your body. It's still teaching you, even now. The prostate, like the heart, like the mind, is not just an organ. It's a reminder that balance, care, and consistency are what keep us whole. When you honor it daily through simple habits, you're not just protecting one gland. You're protecting your entire sense of vitality. You don't need grand gestures to protect your health. You need gentle consistency. 5 small habits, practiced daily, can rewrite the story of your body after 60. Start today. Move a little, breathe deeply, eat wisely, rest fully, and carry kindness in everything you do. Because longevity isn't just about living longer. It's about living aware, living awake, and living well.